off another college basketball season. You mentioned it, Boston College is a little bit small, especially when they have two of their taller players out today, Kennedy Hall and Eleanor Trout. So that leaves Kayla Rolph, who's really probably more of a 4, sort of in that 5 spot as BC starts again. Totally new team. Athena Tomlinson, one of 2 returners to this Boston College roster. She starts. Carmody goes to Rolph, who can shoot from 3. And here is Teionni McDaniel at a wonderful game against Connecticut in the exhibition a couple of weeks ago. Driving to the basket, Carmody is not there, and a rebound comes down to Meg Cahalan, the senior from Middletown, New Jersey, who averaged 10.5 points per game last year. They go right inside for her. Good find by McDaniel, the grad student from Las Vegas. And Tomlinson running the floor and puts up a jumper, which goes. First points of the year goes to Athena Tomlinson.
And that's what they need from the sophomore guard. Got a lot of experience last year as a freshman here at Boston College. Distribute the rock. We saw it in the first possession. Led to a great opportunity on a clean layup, but the finish wasn't there. Second time around, she takes it herself for a mid-range jumper.
Holy Cross was 19-12 last season under first-year head coach Candace Green, who was the interim coach after Maureen McGarity retired a little bit late in the offseason. Green, who was given the full-time job in late February. That is a shot clock violation against Mary Elizabeth Donnelly. Just had to put it on.
Already impressed with Boston College's defense so far. You see the help side D from McDaniel, comes up and then gives it to the guard so that Tomlinson is able to see the floor, push back the defender, create that space, and then on this opposite, the next possession, defensively, Boston College forcing a shot clock violation with great defense inside the paint.
BC averaged 25 points off turnovers last year. That was the strength of that Eagles team, which finished 16-18 a year ago, 6-12 in the ACC, which was tied for 12th under Joanna Burnaby-McNamee, who enters year number 8. She's very aware of how many new pieces there are. She said, look, we are a little bit older in terms of some of the players we bring in, but there's a lot new to Boston College. They're small early in the season, especially with a couple of those pieces out. So it's going to take a little bit of time early in the season, but she loves the makeup of the group. She loves how hard they work and practice every day, and is hoping that can spark something as the year goes through. McDaniel's one of those reasons for optimism.
Well, and a big part when you have new faces going to different locations, you've got to build chemistry, and that's the big thing here early on in the season is how can these young players develop, and not young skill or experience wise, but just with each other and getting to know where the player is going to be, where the play is going to take you, the system, and getting involved in it. And again, when you get an experience against a team like UConn in an exhibition game, that helps you gain some confidence, but also helps you kind of gain momentum going into the season when you know you can hang around with teams like that.
Yeah, that UConn game back on October 13th, which was a doubleheader, men's and women's teams against Connecticut down at Mohegan Sun. There's a triple that's good for the freshman Amira Anderson. First-year guard from Stafford, Virginia. Was a 4-star recruit, top 80 recruit per ESPN. Very excited about her confidence coming in as a freshman and what she can bring to the table. Simone Foreman kicks out Donnelly, working against Anderson. Now here's Flanagan driving to the basket. Right hand is good, and a foul. Caitlin Flanagan, the senior, who was a Patriot League second-team All-Star last year, scores 2.
Great move there by the senior to just attack, realizing the shot clock was going down. Tomlinson on her defensively. You see the Anderson three-pointer for Boston College on the other end, and then right here, 5 seconds left. Flanagan sees that, has the mismatch with Tomlinson in front, just drives the bucket, and McDaniel called for the foul.
So a three-point play, and it makes it 7-3. Well, that would have been pass interference in football, but you don't have to turn around in basketball, so good play by Donnelly. And Kendall Eddy, who just checked into the game for Holy Cross, the junior from here in Massachusetts, in Haverhill. Cahalan, tallest player on the floor today, with a runner for Foreman that doesn't go. Carmody trying to find the rebound, and a tie-up jump. A held ball will keep possession here with Candace Green's team. As we said, officially named the full-time head coach last February. Her 3rd season overall with Holy Cross, 2nd as the head coach of the Crusaders.
Yeah, they were upset on that jump ball call. Simone Foreman got down and looked like she cleanly ripped that one away, so they thought possession was going to belong to the Crusaders, but jump ball, possession arrow favors Holy Cross.
Eddie for Donnelly, going right against Anderson. Double team comes, does manage to get the pass away, and Meg Cahalan has 2.
And again, BC forcing Holy Cross deep into the shot clock. Unfortunately for the BC defense, it's just been great shots for Holy Cross that have fallen with less than 5 seconds left on that shot clock.
Excellent find by McDaniel inside for Kayla Rolph. Comes in as a transfer from William and Mary. Rolph, who had a career-high 24 minutes and 7 points per game last year. Part of a William and Mary team that won the CAA tournament title, made the NCAA tournament. That's the three-pointer from Cahalan. She has 5 in the early going.
Yeah, she's hyped up. She knows that's her shot when she gets it clean, and that was a smooth finish by Cahalan.
Rolph, handoff for McDaniel and an offensive foul.
And you can just see great roll by Rolph to get open. And then just again, square up the shot from Cahalan. The senior knows exactly her range, and she was shooting those in the pregame, and about 4 or 5 consecutive from the top of the key.
Here's Donnelly, blocked from behind by Anderson. Couple of subs coming in for Boston College for the first time as you watch this defensive play by Anderson from behind.
That's a great job just not getting that follow through to catch a piece of the arm of Donnelly. Anderson, pretty impressive in the opening couple of minutes here. A couple of points and great defense.
Out of bounds, possession to BC. Jocelyne Grier comes in, freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina, as well as Erin Haupt, who comes in as a transfer from San Diego State, where she was a 46% three-point shooter last year.
So you're saying she's good?
Of the San Diego State single-season record. Ava McGee in as well, the other returner on this Boston College roster. Here's Grier, and she knocks it down from 3. Jocelyne Grier.
Didn't take a shot in the exhibition, but Coach Mack told us she's confident in shooting.
Bunch of three-pointers being taken. That one no good from Donnelly. Eagles run the floor here with Grier. Pulls up, confident early. That one doesn't go, but an offensive rebound by Lily Carmody. And now it's Haupt from 3, and that's no good. Third chance at it, and it's out of bounds. Possession to Holy Cross.
And you like that effort by Lily Carmody to go down, crash boards, get an offensive opportunity, another second chance for Boston College. Try to generate some offense. That time on the second rebound, just got double teamed and deflected off of her for possession to go back to the Crusaders. But you're seeing Coach Mack kind of substitute some players in now that she feels can implement the system that she's trying to get Boston College to play with.
Inside Donnelly, and she gets in behind the Eagles defense. First 2 points from Mary Elizabeth Donnelly, the senior. Took a massive jump last year. There's Grier, who's got the three-point shot early.
Just can't leave her wide open like that. It's back-to-back buckets for Grier. Smooth finish.
A good start for Jocelyne Grier in her first official game here in the regular season. Foreman against McGee, that's a little strong. And Tomlinson on the run out for Boston College. Kicks it for Haupt. Her 3 is good. There's your 46% three-point shooter, Erin Haupt. And she gives BC an 8-point lead early in the first quarter.
We'll talk about riding the hot hand. Boston College gonna shoot some threes here to create some separation. Up 8, first with Grier. And then how about Erin Haupt, the redshirt senior, joining the three party in Boston.
Bro, this is one play in the first quarter of game number 1, but there's a lot here that if BC's gonna have success, Tomlinson really working on being that pass-first point guard, and then the three-point shot from Haupt.
Yeah, last year Tomlinson finished 5th among all freshmen in the ACC in assists per game, and we saw it throughout this first quarter so far, is looking to find and set up her teammates. She had a lot of experience last year and setting up those players, and Dontavia Wagner and they found buckets. And now with the experience, knowing that she has to be more of a veteran presence, it's going to help this season.
And there's a blocking foul called against Boston College.
You know, I was talking to her dad before the game and said that she really took the summer seriously and developing just the mental aspect of the game and being able to see the floor better, being able to talk to her teammates more, knowing that she'll have to be more of a vocal leader, especially at that guard position. Doesn't matter if you're a freshman or a sophomore, you have to learn how to talk and communicate out on the floor.
And there's the added part of being really the only returner from last year's team. Ava McGee also comes back, but didn't play last season. So it's 2 years for her. Tomlinson becomes an important piece for BC at the point guard spot. They lead 18-10. There's 6 of their last 8 from the floor. Here's a nice drive to the basket, which goes for Kendall Eddy. Junior started her career at Providence in her freshman year. Then last year at Holy Cross, averaged a little over 7 a game. Grier is red hot. Welcome to Chestnut Hill, Jocelyne Grier. 3 3-pointers in her first quarter as an Eagle.
Over 1,000 career points. She can score.
Asia Wilson, a freshman, comes inside the arc and makes 2 to get us back to a touchdown game. Now, the one thing Coach Mack talked about when we talked to her a week ago on our big preseason call when we talked before the game is that, as she said, if we can hit some shots, that creates a whole new element for this group, because as she said, we might have some of the best shooters I've ever had put together on a team.
Yeah, and take a look here at this nice move, as you mentioned, by Eddy, a little fake, and then it opens up the lane. And yeah, especially the three-point shot, especially you have players like a Haupt that can find that range, a Jocelyne Grier who's coming in as a freshman that has that range already established. And if you have a point guard like Tomlinson that can find them in space, find them in transition, get them into their comfortable move when they're shooting, that's going to help this Boston College team find that confidence to take more three-pointers or find that mid-range shot to generate more points.
Left hand, good. Well, Cahalan's been strong so far. That's 7 points for Meg Cahalan. She said averaged 10.5 last year in about 27 minutes. Double figures 17 times a year ago for Holy Cross. Finished 5th in the Patriot League. Not that time for Grier.
You see the closeout.
Again finds the rebound.
Sorry, you just see the closeout by Wilson, trying to get there quickly, knowing how hot Grier has been here in the first.
Three-pointer strong from Wilson, and Tomlinson has the rebound. 21-16 game. You can even see it on her face, right? She wants to run the floor so bad. And resets into the half court, 18 to shoot. Jocelyne Grier has been a revelation early in this first quarter for Boston College with 9 points to lead all scores. Here's Rolph for 3, and that's good. Kayla Rolph is a 34% three-point shooter last year for William and Mary, which was a career high.
That's Lily Carmody penetrating the defense, drawing them into the paint, and then finding that outlet pass to the corner.
Wilson, no good there. Great rebound by Eddy. Walks into her own 3 and is short. Tomlinson running the floor. Gets it back from Rolph, and Tomlinson is a little strong.
Sometimes when you're that wide open, it just opens up.
And Holy Cross answers back, but can't hit. Wide open look for Hannah Griffin. Eagles running the floor now. Carmody is good. First 2 for Lily Carmody.
Talked about a touchdown lead. That's a touchdown pass there by AT. Beautiful outlet in transition, and then the finish with some defense behind.
Cahalan steps back. No good from 3. So you look at the three-point shot right now. Holy Cross just 1 of 5. The Eagles are 6 for 9, and Tomlinson is in and out. Wilson pulls it down. Under a minute to go, first quarter. Eagles by 10. Walking in is Cahalan, and that is short. And a couple of misses now from the three-point arc. Holy Cross is 0 for their last 6 from the floor.
Now, we talked about finding shots for Boston College, and the Eagles started it early with Anderson, and you just look at the guards or the ball possession for Boston College, forcing it into the paint or towards the paint and then opening up those shots. Grier had a wide open look there, and then you see how as well. It's really about just going inside, dragging that defense in, and then kicking it back out. And so far for Boston College, that has worked to build a 10-point lead here in the first. You can see Holy Cross has been trying to establish in the paint, but the Eagles have defended well so far.
Eddie, who's been impactful since coming in, that's a really good pass for Mary Elizabeth Donnelly.
Now Rolph just got spun around, then the backdoor cut, just beautifully executed there by the Crusaders.
Anderson pushed off. Double team comes and a held ball. Possession will stay here with 4.2 to go in the first quarter.
Now here's where you set up a screen. Roller goes into the paint. You have that option. Then you've got the screener peeling off to potentially get a shot here at the buzzer.
Nice find. Tomlinson. Up Tomlinson. No good with the left. Pretty good design out of the inbounds. But overall, look, you shoot 69 from right, which is always a big adjustment for every freshman coming into the ACC. There's a lot of positives there, and we saw a little bit of that here in the first quarter. Holy Cross starts the second with Caitlin Flanagan, Patriot League second-team All-Star. She was preseason All-Patriot League this year. Her 99th career game today, averaging 8 points in 32 minutes in her career.
She likes to play in these season openers, too. Her career high came last year, 21 points.
And by the way, she has started all 99 of those games she's played with Holy Cross.
That's how you want to start it here in the second, trailing, get it to the hot hand, get it to your senior, establish what you want to do offensively, and get the points. And that closes the gap to a 5-point deficit now.
Kendall Eddy against Carmody, has to pass it off, just 7 to shoot for Holy Cross, and Flanagan goes for it again. Rebound was available, and it bounces out for Anderson. Running the floor for Boston College, and Anderson. They call a foul before the shot, a blocking foul against Brianna McDermott, the first year from Yonkers, New York.
Now, you see McDermott kind of see that she has to step up, just doesn't get set. She tries to sidestep to protect that paint. So easy blocking foul called here for the refs. And again, BC trying to get into a system play here.
Been good in transition so far. Three-point shot's been effective. That pass from Tomlinson, trying to get it to Anderson, coming around on the curl, and it's turned over. Yeah, it's just the 5th turnover for Boston College.
It's just part of the inexperience of playing with each other, right? You got to read where that player is going to go, where Anderson's going to go on the curl, and Tomlinson was expecting it to go a little further out, so the pass is further in front than Anderson was expecting.
26-21 our score. Donnelly thought about it. Instead, it's Foreman against McDaniel, and Foreman is too strong. Good defense by Teionni McDaniel, making life difficult. Tomlinson finds Rolph. BC's starting lineup on the floor right now. McDaniel to her left, driving. McDaniel, sweet move, couldn't finish. Got her own rebound, though, and draws the foul.
Yeah, sometimes you kind of lose control on the Earl step going in, but a great job to gather by McDaniel. Just got altered with the defense closing in. And then on the second chance is going to get fouled, I believe, here by Flanagan. Actually, it's going to be Eddie Donnelly who gets called for the foul.
McDaniel, who played at Georgetown College in Kentucky in NAIA school, as you said, the last couple of years. Started her career at Northern Arizona. Before that, a year at Hawaii. You know, that Georgetown College, that is a conference that Coach Mack actually is a coaching alum of when she was the head coach at Pikeville earlier in her career. So she has familiarity with some of the coaches, including the coach of Georgetown College, who she had coached against. So there was some familiarity there when some of those NAIA players became eligible. Coach Mack was able to call some friends and some people she coached against. Let's get a little bit of the story on McDaniel. And you know, everything she heard was got to take a shot on this kid. Really athletic, can be a very good player when she's healthy. And we talked a little bit about what happened in that UConn game. I mean, you know, I don't care if it's October 13th or March 13th or what. You scored 23, 7 of 10 from the floor against UConn. There's some confidence to be gained out of that.
Yeah, and you know, Coach Mack told us a 3-level scorer, right? That when she is going, she can find it at the rim. She can pull up for the mid-range and can establish herself from deep. And that's what this Boston College team needs, is somebody that can be dangerous from all 3 levels on the floor.
So we've held at 26-21 for a bit. Flanagan lost the handle, finds its way over to McDermott, though.
Thought she got uppercut there.
One of the freshmen coming to this Holy Cross team. Simone Foreman, one of the starters, is back, as is Flanagan against Tomlinson. And Flanagan got it up but couldn't hit.
Such a pesky defender is Athena Tomlinson.
Rolph in transition is good. Kayla Rolph with 2 3-pointers. She has 8 in her first game as an Eagle.
You know, sometimes you think maybe coming into your first game collegiately or a new place, you might be afraid to take these deep chances, but Boston College here in the first half, they are not afraid to shoot.
Flanagan got a nice screen, couldn't hit though. Rebound down to Grier. Flanagan just 2 for 6 from the floor in this first half. 29-21, Boston College leads, just 3 points for each team in this second quarter, after it was 26-18 after the first. Tomlinson on a crossover and inside, and Tomlinson a little short on the layup.
Like the idea, just kind of spacing out, creating that chance, just have to put a little bit more muscle on that shot.
Couple of efforts on the other end from Meg Cahalan, no good. And all of a sudden a lid on the basket. After BC was 50% in the first quarter. Holy Cross up there as well. That's a 3, no good from Grier. Holy Cross just 1 of 7 in this second quarter. Boston College 1 of 4. Flanagan driving, kicks, good feed. Donnelly is good. 7 points for Mary Elizabeth Donnelly. What a jump she took last year. 29 starts a year ago after only 2 her first 2 years. She went from 11 minutes as a sophomore to 29 last year as a junior, and up to 7 points a game.
Has improved that 3-point shot after her first couple of years.
45 threes last year after just 20% her first 2 seasons. Shot nearly 40% a year ago. What a luxury that is to have out of a 6-foot player in Donnelly. So 29-24. Turnaround, short from Meg Cahalan.
She had a quick start, had 5 points early on, but just has not been able to find that shot here in the last couple of opportunities that she has had.
.13 to shoot. McDaniel against Flanagan. Tomlinson comes inside for Rolph. Rolph falling away. She got it. Kayla Rolph first into double figures.
See a little touch on that one as it finds the bottom of the net.
Foreman. Eagles running the floor. McDaniel a little short on the bunny. Excellent feed running the floor. McDaniel just a little bit short. A while without a whistle here. 4 minutes to go in the first half. 31-24. And a kick and a 3, and Cahalan is off.
It's just not good shot selection.
We're back to November 3rd. Grier comes inside. It's a little short. Teams are combined 4 for 20 in this second quarter after they shot the world on fire in the first. That was too strong from Flanagan. 3:28 to go in this first half. See if the Eagles settle or continue to try to go here. We know what Coach Mack likes to do in her now 8th season with Boston College. Not afraid to go up tempo. Grier inside, and the foul goes against Holy Cross. So free throws to come when you come back to Conti. 31-24 BC on opening night. 24 Boston College. Boy, Kayla Rolph first in the double figures today. A nice 10 points here in this first half.
Yeah, and it's done it different ways. Nice spot-up shot here off the pass from Tomlinson. In any type of room that she can get, she's going to create something. Right here, creates her own space on the back down, and a little fadeaway touch to finish at the hoop. She's been outstanding so far here for Boston College, and part of creating this lead here in the second. Eagles up 31-24, and efficient night so far for Kayla Rolph.
Coach Mack talked about she is so smart, both academically, but also in terms of her basketball IQ. So she's always in the right place. She's never out of position, knows how to set screens, knows how to do all those little things which allow her to play maybe even, above her talent, which is not a knock on her talent, just how, much her basketball IQ can be an asset for her.
Well, also just brings experience, right? Made it to the NCAA tournament last year with William and Mary, and kind of need those leaders to be on a team like this with not a lot of experience.
Jocelyne Grier now has 11 points after a couple of free throws. 9-point game, and the Eagles can add to it with 3 to go in the first half.
Just a great takeaway by Grier to see that opening and then just go after it. Now creates the turnover.
Kaya Henderson in there for the first time. Redshirt junior, was with Ohio State the last couple of years, and here, an offensive foul called against Boston College. Henderson redshirted last year. The prior 2 years, 28 games played. High of 15 as a sophomore, where she averaged 4.5 minutes per game. Wonderful high school career coming out of Central New York, the New Hartford High School. Janie Bachman in there for the first time for Holy Cross. Here's Kendall Eddy with 6 to shoot. In for Bachman, double team is there. She gets out of it, but couldn't hit the shot. Pretty good effort, but just couldn't finish at the rim.
Yeah, Holy Cross has done a great job getting those opportunities. Getting those chances to force themselves deep into the shot clock, but still break down the BC defense. It's just been about finishing at the rim, or even just those open looks that they've had off those screen and rolls. They just have not been able to find those shots to go in.
Possession resets to 20. That's one of the rule tweaks this year in women's college basketball. Here's Ava McGee. McGee driving an offensive foul.
That's now the 5th offensive foul on Boston College that's been called here in the first half. They've either it's on the screen or just going right to the body of these defenders and not finding an opportunity to go around. You see it here. McGee just kind of puts her head down. This is the second time for Ava McGee. And again, sometimes you're dusting off the cobwebs and trying to realize how much physical play you can play with. But when you extend the arm, that's going to get called almost 99% of the time.
So 1:40 to go in the first half, 33-24. Boston College leading Holy Cross. Halen for Eddy for 3 is no good. Just 13 total points in this second quarter. There's a takeaway, and Holy Cross on the run. Down by 9 here in the first. An excellent feed inside, and it's Eddy for 2.
Yeah, Hannah Griffin starts that play with the steal, and then Eddy just cutting across, not getting marked by any BC defender. Clear lane to the hoop.
So Holy Cross hanging in despite Both teams just one of their last 7 from the floor. Eagles have turned it over 3 times in the last couple minutes, and Holy Cross has taken advantage. Grier to the basket is not there. Holy Cross has scored 8 points off turnovers. Eddie flips one, and the three-pointer from Wilson is good. Asia Wilson has 5, and Holy Cross within 4. And it's taken away, and Wilson for 3, and that was short.
Sometimes you just gotta try it. You got it.
There was so much good, and you know, listen, that's learning to be a freshman, right? I mean, she makes an unbelievable pass, and then watch how she just get right back in position. But the important thing, immediately chapped her chest, knew it. All good to reset.
Accountability, right? That's all you want to see from the young player, and she knew it immediately. Well, you get that heat check sometimes. You just gotta release, Eric. You gotta release.
About a 4-second difference between the possession and the end of this first half. Tomlinson to her right, finds Anderson. 7 to shoot for Boston College. Up by 4 late in the first. Anderson driving, kicks to the corner. Three-pointer help, is in and out. 1 second, gotta get a shot up, they won't. Wilson after the buzzer. And it brings us to the end of the first half with Boston College. 3 games this week for Boston College. They'll play Thursday and then Sunday. McDaniel for 3 to start is no good. A rebound goes to Meg Cahalan. And we're off here in quarter number 3. 33-29 is the Boston College lead over Holy Cross. Flanagan dumps it down. Cahalan turning a left hand, and Meg Cahalan has 9 points.
Really felt like she was the one they wanted to establish in that first half, and now going back to her in the paint, try to get that confidence back up after missing a couple of shots there in the second quarter.
Teionni McDaniel for Athena Tomlinson. 10 to shoot for Boston College. Kayla Rolph had a really nice first half. Her first with BC. McDaniel inside, and they called a travel as McDaniel had 2 defenders slide over, put that plant foot down and slid a bit, so called for the travel.
It's a great job by Hannah Griffin and Mary Elizabeth Donnelly coming over, keeping their arms up, not overcommitting with the pressure on the body, and just closing that lane that McDaniel was looking for.
Hannah Griffin thought about it. Instead, Holy Cross cycles a little bit deeper in a timer to start the half on both sides. And there's a foul called against Boston College, goes against Athena Tomlinson. It's her first.
You can see Candace Green already with 2 established plays. The first one to get Meg Cahalan to go. She got the bucket. And then this time going to Caitlin Flanagan, the senior, Patriot League second team selection and preseason All Patriot League honoree.
Seven points for Flanagan. It's just under 10 points a game last year. Those 5 assists led the Patriot League. She was also a Patriot League All-Rookie Team selection as a freshman. Again, has started all 99 games she's played as a member of Holy Cross. We are tied at 33 apiece. It stays that way with Anderson no good from 3.
We talk about a player like Flanagan, learned from Lindsey Berger, who had an outstanding career there in Worcester. One of the top scorers in that program.
As you said, Holy Cross put together some really successful years. That's good from 3. Flanagan finding her touch to start the second half. The Crusaders lead by 3, 36-33.
Yeah, first lead tonight.
A 7-0 run coming out of the halftime break for Holy Cross. Carmody, who battled foul trouble in that first half, was the recipient of that pass, but they're unable to connect on it. Flanagan's been the hot hand so far here in the third. So they stick with it. Calls for the back cut. And that is up and no good from Simone Foreman, who averaged 14 points a game last year. She has not yet scored today. A little bit of a surprise. Improved her points by 8 from her sophomore year to her junior year, her points per game.
And again, just look at this 3 from Flanagan. Eyes take the defender away, and then just enough space to open up that shot, and the Crusaders bench loves it. Again, this is what we talk about with Candace Green, is how do you establish yourself coming out of the locker room here at halftime and doing it with the long ball and establishing themselves in the paint.
Get an offensive foul there. So Boston College will get possession. Remember, Holy Cross scored, those few buckets at the end of the second quarter. So this is a little bit of a run. Here's Carmody turning, and there's a good look at why BC is so excited about Lily Carmody, the sophomore from Australia. Makes it a one-point game. Cahalan to answer quickly, yes. Meg Cahalan has 11.
A little, oh, look over my right, I'm going left, but I'm actually going right by Cahalan. Just a beautiful touch as well in the paint.
Boston College led 33-24 with 3:15 to go in the second quarter. So this is a 14-2 Holy Cross run over the last 6:05, going back to the second, and now a couple of free throws coming up to try to add to it.
Yeah, Donnelly just does a great job crashing boards, seeing that Tomlinson was down there, had a size advantage. If she was able to establish herself in the paint, does so and draws a foul on the quick release.
So Mary Elizabeth Donnelly is good at the free throw line. 8 points for Donnelly. So 11 for Cahalan, 11 for Flanagan, and now 8 for Donnelly. He's 1 of 2 at the line. An offensive rebound, though, by Foreman. And Holy Cross up by 4. That's taken away by Grier. Grier made those 3 3-pointers in the first half, and now Tomlinson running the floor. For an outlet, wasn't there. McGee trying to reach for it, nearly taken away, but Holy Cross still ends up committing the foul, which goes against Flanagan. That is her third. Is something to watch.
Well, Holy Cross, again, just trying to keep that active defense to prevent Boston College from establishing anything in the paint, forcing the Eagles on these outside shots. And, Athena Tomlinson was so good in the first quarter and finding the open player. Crusaders have made it harder here since then.
Finds McGee, twists, spins, yes. First points of the year for Ava McGee.
That's one as a coach, you don't want the leaner, right? You don't want the leaning back, but when it goes in, you're just like, okay, all right, that went in, that's fine. Good shot selection.
2-point game in a competitive opening night. 3-pointer in and out from Cahalan, but an offensive rebound Foreman, and probably would have been called for a travel had that not been taken away. So good work by Boston College, and now Grier in transition. 2-pointer is good. Jocelyne Grier has 13 in her Eagles debut.
I think she got smacked too in the face after releasing that one. It's a great job after establishing herself at the 3-point line, steps in for the mid-range, and then sinks that one too.
Free throw line jumper, Donnelly not there. Tie game at 39 here in the third, and Grier is no good for 3. Offensive rebound, Carmody, and now Tomlinson for 3 is way too strong. Running the floor, and the foul! Kendall Eddy. Holy Cross has the lead again by 2.
You just can't make that mistake if you're Athena Tomlinson. There's a great lane by Kendall Eddy. Had the bucket, just don't want to give her the 3-point opportunity there, but because of the contact in the landing circle, it's going to give Eddy an opportunity for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Kendall Eddy was a 72% free throw shooter last season. She makes it a 3-point game once again, 42-39. Erin Halp comes back in, had that 1 3-point attempt that she made in the first quarter. It was 1 for 3 from behind the arc. Halp got a chance. Halp, yes.
That's the risk you run when you put on a full court press. You leave one player open, and a dangerous one at that, and Halp.
I mean, she is that good a three-point shooter, both in the eye test and what you saw last year at San Diego State. It's about, can they create enough opportunities for her to be able to do it? That's a big question in the ACC, but when she's had her looks, she's knocked them down. 2 threes for Help. Tie game. One of the leading scorers for the Crusaders. She's been very good.
Yeah, and has done it all over the paint and from beyond the arc as well. 1 3-pointer, added 3 rebounds for those 11 points, and a quick release, great body position to get in front of Rolph. And again, back inside, little shimmy shoulder shake to create an opportunity. And when we talked about Caitlin Flanagan and having the opportunities to be the leading scorer for this Crusaders team, they're going to need some support, and Meg Cahalan establishing herself as a great secondary option.
Came off the bench her first couple of seasons. Then last year as a junior, took the jump, started all 31 games, 27 minutes, 10.5 points per contest. Has that great size at 6'2", but still can step out. As we showed you, knocked down a 3-pointer today. 3 on the timer and a foul on the floor. No shooting foul. That goes against Ava McGee. Not a crazy amount of foul trouble yet, but you know, you look at Tomlinson with 3. 4 other Eagles have 2, so just something to monitor. Still 4:32 to go in the third, obviously. Plenty of time. In the tie game at 42. Kendall Eddy has been good from the foul line today. She has 8 points now. Not that time. Holy Cross as a team 6 for 8 from the stripe tonight. They have a 1-point lead. Carmody, the Butler transfer from Help, the San Diego State transfer, and an elbow called against the freshman Asia Wilson.
A little interesting here too. They've got Carmody bringing the ball up. Coach Mack told us she can play that backup point guard role when needed. So see how she can kind of be a catalyst on this offense.
And that's because Tomlinson has the 3 fouls, as we talked about. Carmody looking to drive. Kicks for Help. McGee, pull up at the end of the timer is no good. Friendly fire there, but still a rebound for Holy Cross. Crusaders lead by 1. And boy, you look at Janie Bachman, had to double clutch because she was losing the handle on it a little bit, but still, because of the delay, the Eagles defender got over and then commits the foul.
That's a great job just staying with it from the junior guard. Able to still draw a foul on that opportunity, and it was on the shot. So Bachman will be able to go to the free throw line now.
The junior from New Jersey, 20 games off the bench last year. Averaged about 12 minutes a game a season ago. And 1 for 2 at the line. 44-42 Holy Cross on opening night from Conti. That's taken away. Another steal by Holy Cross. Wilson to the basket is good. The freshman from Rochester has 7 in her debut. And Holy Cross leads by 4. That's their largest tonight. Carmody on the other end is fouled.
Yeah, just a great job on the attack here for the freshman. Boston College just kind of got jumbled up there at the top of the arc, and Wilson, even with the size disadvantage, goes right after the Eagles, and Rolph looked like she just wants to peel off a bit, so great job there for the Crusaders.
Lily Carmody last year got 7 points a game for Butler, starting 24 to the 31. You want to get really into the numbers. There were only 2 Big East freshmen last year with 200 points, 85 rebounds, 60 assists, 50 steals, and 10 blocks. The other, Sarah Strong for UConn, who did okay.
Is it bad that I would have said it's somebody from UConn?
They also always had breakfast at 7 a.m. on Tuesday.
We're early breakfast guys, aren't we?
Sometimes, you know, you make a stat fit the story to tell, but, you know, it just spreading out on the stat sheet is the idea of it.
Oh, I see.
Carmody.
I see.
2-point game as Carmody drives, and Carmody goes up and no good.
No, in these reverse layups, the Eagles just haven't been able to touch glass, and they're expecting that rotation on the ball to maybe touch glass and hit rim. They just haven't cleanly been able to see it with the great defense by Holy Cross.
Holy Cross has outscored Boston College by 10 since the first. It's a 2-point game right now. And Tomlinson in playing with 3 fouls, with her team down by 2 and running the point. Rolph had a good first half with 10. Carmody from the elbow with 13 to shoot. Gets rid of it to McDaniel, inside for Rolph. Comes down with the dribble, and it's taken away by Kendall Eddy. Now running the floor, and it's no good. Pretty good closeout by Tomlinson there, obviously at his size disadvantage, but did enough. Now hits the trailer Grier. Eagles have not had a field goal in a little over 3 minutes, but yet still within 2. And now a foul called away from the ball against Meg Cahalan.
Yeah, Boston College struggling here in the third. 4 of 11, 1 for 5 from the 3-point line. And 4 turnovers, and just haven't been able to get some consistency on the offensive end.
Now Carmody back to the foul line. Got a little home court roll. 7 for Carmody. You know, the connection of someone coming from Melbourne, Australia. She had played a little bit with former Eagle Taylor Ortlett, who was part of those Eagles teams around COVID, early in Coach Mack's tenure. So there's a little bit of connection there. Here is Grier, comes the other way off the turnover, lost the handle, finds its way to McDaniel, who hits Rolph, who is good from 3. Big-time shot for Kayla Rolph, who has 13 in her Eagles debut, and BC is back on top on a 6-0 run. And now the foul goes against Holy Cross, against Foreman for a push.
Yeah, this is just great execution from Boston College, and the steal from Grier, and then just going right at the paint, seeing that this one's gonna get stripped. McDaniel finds the opportunity for Rolph. Quick release for Kayla Rolph, and she puts Boston College on top.
Well, you can do all the planning you want, but until you get to the games, trying to figure out who's going to be that person. And today it's been Grier with 13 and Rolph with 13 to lead Boston College.
We talked about just trying to find where that chemistry is going to develop, who's going to work well with each other. And, you know, these first couple of games for Coach Mack going to be a big one.
Another chance at a turnover and a held ball. Possession this time will go to Holy Cross.
BC coaching staff just loving the effort here. We talked about just the size mismatch, and so far it's been hustle, communication, and effort for Boston College to kind of neutralize that physical mismatch.
So the 4 turnovers over the last 2 minutes for Holy Cross has sparked this 7-0 Boston College run to take the lead back, and there's the 5th. Tomlinson wisely slows things down with under a minute to go in the third. 49-46, Boston College the lead. Tomlinson drives, Tomlinson blocked, but a foul. They get Foreman. as Tomlinson on the drive, and that's 3 fouls on Simone Foreman.
I think that was a I'm not going to back down type of drive for Tomlinson, realizing time was winding down. She had a screen set up. Her mind was made up on attacking the hoop and either dishing it off when she got there or trying to finish at the rim.
So now Tomlinson. Didn't have a ton of free throw attempts last year. It was just 4 for 11 at the line. You would expect that number to increase this year. But, you know, you look at this game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, only the 2 points, but it's the kind of stat stuffer game BC's going to need from her.
Well, it does like playing against this Crusaders team. Had a career-high 10 points against Holy Cross last year as a freshman.
Sophomore from Fresno, California. Nice look. Kendall Eddy again.
Yeah, it looked like she almost lost it, but was able to gather it high off the glass and gets the finish.
Third in double figures for Holy Cross tonight. Back to a 2-point game, 50-48. Got a 5-second difference here at the end of the third. McDaniel right against Kayla. McDaniel up and under is good. 4 points for Teionni McDaniel.
And that's how you finish off the glass. Use the glass as your assist and a nice get under just enough so you use the rim as another defender there against the Crusaders defender who was on McDaniel, and then just create enough space to get it off the glass and in.
But a foul called on Jocelyne Grier right in front of the BC bench, and both teams in the bonus. So now Flanagan can answer those couple of points here at the end of the third. First foul on Jocelyne Grier, the freshman. And Flanagan, who started this third quarter well, now is up to 12 points. Now 13 squares her with Grier and Rolph for the game high. Final seconds, McDaniel, that's off. And it's Boston College with a 2-point lead as Green
really trying to go to her go-to players in Flanagan and Cahalan and getting those two going in that third quarter.
Here is Tomlinson, who hits Rolph with 15 to shoot for BC. Tomlinson got some space, a little strong on the jumper. Did a good job creating space for herself, just couldn't quite hit. But an offensive rebound for Carmody. Carmody drives, kicks Tomlinson. 3-ball, short, bounces, and comes down. Like she almost had the second bounce.
And McDaniel was flying through the air trying to anticipate it, but took that second bounce and just couldn't get there.
Wilson left, Wilson no. And Jocelyne Grier has 6 rebounds tonight. Gets it back, Grier driving, spins off the defender. It's around for Tomlinson once again. There is McDaniel, a little poke out of bounds, it'll stay here.
Been really impressed with Kendall Eddy. Obviously great on the offensive end, but defensively has really done a great job on McDaniel. Having her night a little quiet because of the defense in front from the junior from Haverhill, Mass.
Carmody calling the play, flips for Grier. 3 to shoot, Grier falling away was affected. Eagles can actually, I think there was enough time to actually go up with it, but it never hit the rim. So that is a violation of the timer. Still a 2-point game here in the fourth. skip pass and a drive, and Eddie is short. Foreman was wide open, though, for that rebound. She read that so well coming from the outside. But there was an opening there. Flanagan, Grier reaching for it. It creates an opening, and Donnelly short from three. Good attempt again. Now Tomlinson running the floor all the way in. Tomlinson is no good. McDaniel, though, with an offensive rebound. Nearly turned over. Good save by Carmody. 2 minutes in without a point in this fourth quarter. Tomlinson kicks. Carmody. Gotta go. 3 to shoot. Carmody, good. Lily Carmody has 11 in her Eagles debut, and BC is up 5.
That's with the defender closing in and the shot clock winding down. Carmody with double digits.
Short of the drive and a foul called. So we talk about reestablishing this game a little bit, and BC has done it despite the fact they still have not shot great from the floor, but a big-time bucket when they needed it right there.
Yeah, Eagles were a little bit more selective in that third, and kind of carries over here in the fourth and just trying to find the right shot, not forcing shots up.
That free throw ends a 13-4 Boston College run since they trailed by 4 with the Wilson layup. And Carmody had scored 7 of those 13 points for Boston College in this stretch. A couple of free throws, though, and Holy Cross gets back within 3.
Speaking of Wilson, she checks in, and Holy Cross going to go with some pressure full court.
Carmody nearly lost her footing, keeps it going and draws the foul. Good work. So, you know, again, it's opening night for everybody. Maybe took a little bit to get in the flow, but I think you've seen some of the signs here for Lily Carmody as the second half has gone on.
Yeah, absolutely. And it felt like about midway through that third quarter, she was frustrated she didn't make a bucket, got the foul called, missed the first free throw, was shaking her head, and her teammates came back to encourage her as she makes this first free throw. And since then, it felt like, all right, she's now looking for her shot, taking those chances. And if the three-pointer is not there, you love the pump fake and then the drive in.
Another one for Carmody, 57-52. So 13 points in the game for Carmody. 11 of those have come in the second half. Three-pointer Wilson. She's had a strong first game with Holy Cross. That shot, though, was also too strong. Tomlinson hits Grier. Transition 3 is a little short, but a foul on the rebound attempt goes against Holy Cross.
I think Flanagan was the one that was called for it down low.
And that's 4 fouls on Holy Cross's preseason All-Patriot League selected Caitlin Flanagan.
And it was Carmody, too, the one that was tangled up with her.
So that obviously is important with under 7 minutes to go. Carmody drives. Carmody lost the handle, but kept her dribble. And now BC draws another foul. This one against Asia Wilson. It's her second.
Well, if you're BC, you'll take this. You try to get into the bonus. Try to get Holy Cross into some foul trouble here in the fourth.
Halp right off the inbounds, trying to get that three-point shot. She's made 2 today of her 4 attempts. Four to shoot. Tomlinson gets it back. Tomlinson through. And a big bucket for Athena Tomlinson.
Such a great adjustment by the sophomore. Cut in, the seas parted, and she was able to kiss it off the glass and finish.
Holy Cross takes time with 6:19 to go in the fourth. Boston College establishing themselves a little bit. A 7-2 lead here in the fourth quarter. Tomlinson with a good take to get the lead back to 7.
Yeah, and she's doing it all, right? Running the floor, giving her team opportunities in transition. Nice little back down here, the spin off, and gets the 2. And then from the three-point line, just even with pressure closing in, not afraid to release the shot, nothing but the bottom of the net. They'll start the game off with 2 points, 1 for 2 in the first half, and here in the second half has come alive. 11 points, a three-pointer, and 6 free throws made to go along with 4 rebounds.
Quick design play there for Cahalan. Maybe rushed it a touch, and it doesn't go, and BC is right back to work here. 6 minutes to go. Carmody steps in and is short from 3.
Good idea, and a good find by Tomlinson. She was trapped inside the paint. Carmody was trailing the play. Just couldn't bury it.
So again, you know, you're going to look to pick things out of game number 1. It's still game number 1, but outside of that first quarter, BC doing this without an elite shooting performance, but a big-time 3 to answer. And there finally is Simone Foreman, who gets her first points of the game. Hard to believe. But now Holy Cross is right back within 4.
Foreman was so good last year, had 68 three-pointers attempted, made 19, shot 29%. That time, it's a big one for the Crusaders here this season.
Daniel lost the handle on it, gets it back from Carmody. 6 to shoot for McDaniel, who has Rolph. Driving the left side, Rolph is good. Saw the lane and took it for 15 points.
Shows you the danger that Rolph can be. Kayla Rolph, the senior, has a couple of made three-pointers, but also can finish at the hoop.
Nice little back cut there. Donnelly spins off Grier. And Mary Elizabeth Donnelly has 10 points.
Yeah, great job there by Donnelly to find that opportunity. And you know, for BC, you got to send that help side defender. Can't just allow your teammate to be on an island there alone.
At 7 points in the first half. And that was her first field goal of half number 2. Holy Cross, Boston College, good one on opening night. 61-57, BC holds the lead. It was Foreman first with a big shot to get her first points for Holy Cross. But the Eagles hanging in with Rolph, who has 15 in her Eagles day. A little bit to think about in terms of the foul trouble, right? Flanagan is such an important piece for Holy Cross. Picked up that 4th foul. She's back in right now. Foreman and Wilson also have 3. Foreman in there for the moment for Holy Cross. On the Boston College side, Tomlinson and McGee with 3 fouls for BC. Tomlinson has played with 3 for this whole fourth quarter. Carmody looking for an outlet for Tomlinson, who gets to the bucket and scores. Good work by Tomlinson.
Yeah, another great adjustment on that driving layup by Athena Tomlinson. Able to get it up. And again, Boston College creating some separation.
You know, credit Tomlinson. Missed some early, but has grinded her way to 7 points to go along with 6 assists and 5 rebounds today. A little over 4 minutes to go. 63-57 BC, and the drive by Eddy is good. 14 points for Kendall Eddy. Or she averaged 7 a game last year in her sophomore season, her first with Holy Cross. Tomlinson sneaks in. Tomlinson's feeling it. That's 9.
It's a little nice move there, a little window washer going into the rim. But you said it, it felt like after missing a couple, she could have hung her head, been upset, right? Just try to distribute the rest of the game. She's still attacking, trying to find those opportunities for herself.
You know, one of the things we talked about, you know, as she comes into her 2nd season, but now her 1st season really is the point guard, right? The starting point guard. The idea that you have to be pass first in your thought is Grier nearly gets a turnover here. Holy Cross gets it back. But Coach Mack said that's actually not going to take away from her own offense. That actually should help her shooting to open up some more opportunities. Grier finally got that takeaway she was working so hard for.
Well, if there's anything we know about a Coach Mack team, it's they're going to be good on steals and they're going to be good on rebounding, and that's come true here today.
Three-pointer, Grier is no good. And a foul against Carmody from behind on the rebound. It's the third foul on Lily Carmody.
I love that look she gave the ref, that little, like, did you have to call it? Take a look at Athena Tomlinson. Again, just attacking, not worried about...
Pardon, that's actually 4 on Carmody.
Not worried about the contact. And, well, now we talked about foul trouble. Now Boston College will have to watch Carmody.
Flanagan is fouled. So Flanagan in there playing with 4 fouls herself. So Carmody was in there for a long while, obviously, as we talked about, was such a focal point of what BC was doing offensively. See what happens now that she comes out with 3 minutes remaining here in the fourth.
They've tried to set up Rolph on those threes.
14 points now for Flanagan.
And we've seen Grier line up a couple of them as well, the freshman from Charlotte.
Good rebound by McDaniel off the miss. 5-point game, 3 minutes left. McDaniel is good. Smooth stroke for Teionni McDaniel, who has 6. Now a foul on a reach against Grier. It's her second.
And again, just knowing her spot, good release, even with Foreman closing in. That's what led to the success against UConn in the exhibition game for McDaniel, just finding her spots and being in those comfortable locations on the court where she knows and the confidence is there for that ball to go in.
I think she is, you know, whatever kind of phrase you want to use, she probably is the X factor here. You know, if you look at what the ceiling is, and if they can keep her healthy and keep her, you know, confident, and that confidence she, you know, potentially got out of the UConn game, but then was banged up for a little bit after that, so didn't really get to build on it as much as they might have liked in practice and at camp. But if they can get her confident, feeling good, she's got a ceiling that could allow her to be a really, really successful player in the ACC. Kick ball there against Eddie.
And you can see it, just natural ability to look up, try to create opportunities for her teammates. Is not selfish where she's going to take the shots that might not go in. And that's the type of player you want, somebody who's confident enough to shoot, but also able to create.
Yeah, they've also loved the type of person she is that they've been able to bring in to the dressing room.
That's so important with a young team, right? You obviously have a bunch of freshmen coming in and some new faces and the transfers, and you want to have somebody who can help establish a culture with this new group of players for Coach Mack.
Out back in for Anderson, 2:20 remaining, fourth quarter, 67-62, Boston College leads Holy Cross. The Eagles, who have pretty much always played well on this floor under Coach Mack. Tomlinson. And Tomlinson draws the foul on the drive.
Yeah, you mentioned it. For Boston College, they've won 13 straight home games against Holy Cross. So good here at home.
Yeah, 6 attempts now for Tomlinson in this fourth quarter, not even including the one right there. 3 of 6 from the floor after 6 in the first 3 quarters. This is one of the things with Boston College, right? They have a lot of home games early in the season. Their 2 road games are in New England at Providence and UMass. Besides the Daytona Beach Classic, they won't go outside of New England until January 1st. You know, some years that may matter, some years it may not, but with so much new for BC, and, you know, the other piece we haven't even talked about is it's basically an entirely new assistant staff outside of Sean Elbeck, who comes back for Coach Mack. So there's so much new. Being able to get that routine and that flow down with this group becomes very, very important.
Yeah, and you talked about just having more games here at home. Even those 2 road games are still, you know, within 2 hours, so it's not too long of a trip, and you get to establish yourself in the first couple of months of the season.
Under 2 minutes to go, and a 3-pointer. Donnelly is good. Mary Elizabeth Donnelly has 13.
That's huge for Holy Cross. Get that shot, make it a 2-point game. It's going to force a timeout from Boston College. Great ball movement to lead to that shot for Mary Elizabeth Donnelly.
13 points and 8 rebounds tonight for Mary Elizabeth Donnelly. Boston College clinging to a 2-point lead back in 30, 67-65 BC. Cross back within 2. Let's take a peek at that last look from Mary Elizabeth Donnelly. We talked about her 3-point improvement last year. You see it right here.
Yeah, and then again, it's Flanagan waiting for the screen to get set up, and then Donnelly able to finish. You talked about those 3-point numbers. Foreman on the screen. 45 threes last season for 39% from the 3-point line. Only 20% in her first 2 seasons. Only 21 made 3-pointers.
Yeah, she worked extremely hard at it. It showed up last season. It showed up so far today. She's knocked down 2 of the 4 she's taken. 4 in double figures for Holy Cross. And it's a 2-point game. 96 seconds remaining in the opener. Rolph's been great today. Tomlinson, the hot hand of late. Gets rid of it to Carmody, who comes back out with 4 fouls. Grier off her foot, but it's out of bounds off Holy Cross. It bounced off Cahalan.
Cahalan couldn't believe it. She arms out, just, what can you do? Great defense by the Crusaders. Almost got the turnover that they really needed and wanted.
A huge break for BC, but just 5 on the timer. Entrance to Carmody, falling away. Probably didn't have to rush that much. And Holy Cross with the ball with 1:12 remaining here in the 4th, down by 2. Inside, Cahalan, we are tied.
Excellent roll and an excellent finish by Cahalan.
Let's see if Coach Mack lets him play it out. 67 apiece, under a minute to go. McDaniel driving, falling away. McDaniel scores. 8 for McDaniel in her Eagles debut, and BC leads by 2.
We talked about getting to her spot. That's a great spot inside by the paint. Little floater over the defender.
Holy Cross is going to play it out now. Flanagan on the entrance. Cahalan a catch with a double team. Gets it off Foreman. Up and good! Simone Foreman ties it again.
I think they're going to check the time here, Eric. Right now, BC can hold for the final shot with 29, but I think they're going to put 30.1. That's exactly what they'll do. 30.1 on the game clock, and they'll reset the shot clock for the Eagles.
Well, how about those 2 takes in a row? And all of a sudden, Boston College, 5 of their last 7 from the floor. Holy Cross has made 6 in a row from the floor.
Great move by McDaniel. And then on the other end, the Boston College coaching staff wanted to travel here, but I think Cahalan does a great job on the pivot and then the dish, and we'll see Foreman. I think that's a clean move by Foreman. So beautifully done by Holy Cross. And that's 2 plays for the Crusaders back-to-back that they try to go deep into the paint, and then a nice finish at the rim to get the points.
So 30.1 to go. You can basically hold for a last shot. 69 apiece, Boston College and Holy Cross. And here's the thing, when you have an entirely new team, who's that ball going to in this spot? Well, we find out in game number 1 tonight for Boston College.
Aren't you glad you're not a coach?
Just to reset the foul situation as well, Flanagan and Wilson with 4 fouls for Holy Cross. Tomlinson and Carmody with 4 fouls for Boston College. It's Tomlinson, McDaniel, Rolph, and Grier, with Carmody inbounding for Boston College. 30 seconds remaining. Game tied at 69. Here on opening night from Conti. What a game this has been.
Eddie backs up.
Tomlinson makes her move at 14. McDaniel coming around. McDaniel to the basket. McDaniel scores!
You called her the X Factor. She's showing up big time for Boston College here in the fourth. Another great finish, great screen by Rolph to not get called for the offensive foul. Establishes herself, and then McDaniel, a strong take here to the hoop on Cahalan, and able to finish off the glass.
An excellent take, 2 in a row by Teionni McDaniel, who's up to 10 points now. And this is her first official Boston College game. We've been citing that UConn result a lot.
Well, now
now 7.1 for Holy Cross. They've made 6 shots in a row from the floor. Where do they go with the basketball?
And it feels like they have a set play. They were waiting for Boston College before that timeout had ended. Watch for Cahalan in the paint.
Flanagan is the inbounder. Gets it in Cahalan. Nice bounce pass. Great play design. And the foul is called with Carmody down for Boston College.
Good to see her up on her legs, walking back. It looked like she got a lot of contact on that that left hip on this drive by Kendall Eddy.
Feed. And if the foul, by the way, is on Carmody, it is her 5th.
I mean, just a great feed by Cahalan to get Eddy on the drive. And I think you're right, Eric. I think this is
so it's her 5th foul. A really important 4th quarter for Lily Carmody, but she exits the game here. And so interesting, it was Eddy who has been a real bright spot for Holy Cross today. 4.9 to go. Free throws for Holy Cross. They need 2 to tie. So now what?
Do you miss it, right? Do you miss it, go for the rebound, try to get the putback, or do you go and then just foul and play the long game?
Both teams are in the bonus. Makes that one. It's a 1-point game. 15 points for Kendall Eddy. (71-70) Boston College leads. Carmody now out of this game with 5 fouls for BC. It was Amira Anderson, the freshman, who came in to replace her.
Well, now you've got to foul quickly. 4.9 left on the clock here in the 4th. If you're Holy Cross, you've got to grab, do whatever you can to make sure you get the foul called immediately. And for Boston College, you want to get it into your best free throw shooter's hands.
Well, you talk about learning something about your team early in the season. How's this for late game sequences? Haupt comes back in for Boston College here. Anderson as well, as we said, with Rolph, McDaniel, and Tomlinson will inbound. 4.9 to go, gotta get it in.
That's a great job by Holy Cross. They did not bite on all those ducking and weaving and cutting and moving. They stuck with their players, and nothing opened up for Boston College.
And Joanna Burnaby-Mack to be forced to call timeout.
And that was close. It was close to 4 seconds there, at least on my count.
So it's interesting there. Tomlinson is inbounding because of the free throw shooters. She probably has the worst percentage, but again, it's hard to say that because it was so few attempts last year, so it's almost unfair to say, but that's why she's inbound.
You can see a more smaller lineup for a Holy Cross as well. They're trying to get those hands active, try to get those strips, get those steals. Crusaders still have some timeouts too.
Boy, this has been a nip and tuck game all the way through, and BC has gone to Teionni McDaniel. Scored twice here in the final minute. That one first to give BC the lead, and then once again.
And both times going after senior defenders in Flanagan and Kayla.
She's up to 10 points today. 1 point game. BC's got to get it in. They do with Rolph. And she's fouled with 3.3 to go. Took even a second to get the foul. And it looks like they'll go and check the clock to make sure it's at the right moment. It was 4.9 on the inbounds.
But I agree with you.
I'd be surprised if there's a little time that comes back on, but it did look like even the officials did wait a beat before that foul was officially secured.
Yeah, you actually have to foul, right? Yeah. The intent of fouling can't be assumed by the referee, so you actually have to make some sort of contact where it is a foul. And you're going to see here on the inbound, Rolph going to be able to hold on for a bit.
So again, that's not called. It's that one.
Yeah, yep.
I mean, actually, it's even after that. You can see when the arm goes up. So they're going to stick with 3.3. Kayla Rolph was an 83% free throw shooter last year. Misses the front end. And a 1 point game. It stays that way. Donnelly secures it, and Holy Cross can play for the win with 2.8 left.
I mean, this is as good as it gets for a season opener, right? You go back and forth between these two local programs, and now Holy Cross with an opportunity with 2.8. We've seen them at least go to Kayla to touch the ball a couple of times here late in this fourth quarter to establish the play, whether it's Kayla or Flanagan.
I mean, they ran a great design out of that last sequence, and they went right to Kendall Eddy, the junior. This is where, again, you know, whatever happens in a season, as we said, it's November 3rd. We're going all the way through to the, second week of March at a minimum. But in this moment, when you have as many people back as Holy Cross does, it is a massive advantage in these spots because you know where the ball is going. What is the choice for the Crusaders and Candace Green? Down by 1, 2.8 to go. Trying to knock off Boston College in the opener. Flanagan again, the inbounder. Throws a lob, looking for Foreman to catch the shot. It goes! Foreman scores! And Holy Cross leads!
Still 1 second left. Foreman was quiet all night long and finally comes alive here in the second half. Big bucket by the senior.
Well, there's your answer, because it's a couple of times in a row here. Holy Cross has gone to number 24.
I mean, how about Flanagan and that dime right to Foreman?
So now 1.2 has been added to the clock here. And the catch, the shot, it goes!
And BC has no timeouts.
Anderson's gonna run the floor, gets it to McDaniel, gotta throw it up. McDaniel can't hit! Holy Cross comes to Conti and knocks off the Eagles on opening night.